All I'm saying is that she sent me like fucking pictures of her cream pied vagina.
Welcome to the Swine Brothers Show, episode 165 for February 6th, 2019. You can contact us at Cosmicgodsdie at gmail.com. Facebook is Swine Brothers and Twitter is SwineBros666. I am your host, Ellie Lindemood.
I am the Jim, a complete asshole.
Yes, and welcome back after a slight break. We are back with more filth and depravity.
Oh, yeah. Let's get on with the depravity, shall we?
Yes, depravity is fun.
And here we have it from Senator Jason Rapert. He sent 3 little photos telling people to boycott Vino's in Little Rock.
This is in Arkansas. This is a story that broke today because he can't keep his damn mouth shut.
Friends, I rarely share with you the hateful posts and pictures that extreme liberals make about me to torment my stand for better moral values.
Never trust anyone who campaigns on better moral values. They're out to get you.
The moral high ground is a bullshit concept because the moment you claim it, you sell out your own morals to maintain it.
Yep.
But this time I want you to see what they have done. They use my image on an event without my permission, and they depict me biting a baby in my mouth.
Well, are you supposed to bite a baby in your ass?
A wicked and evil depiction of an event entitled Eyehategod. Eyehategod.
Eyehategod, for those of you who don't know, is the possibly greatest sludge metal band ever. They're from New Orleans, Louisiana. And if you haven't heard them after the show, wait until the show's over, people. Then go out and take as needed for pain. And then have your skull caved in by the crushing riffs.
Okay, and what about Phobia?
Phobia is a grindcore band from Texas, I want to say. My friend Brian Fajardo's in the band, actually. Really cool guy. My other friend Dorian used to be in the band. Very fast, very punky, very awesome.
Deadbird?
I don't know Deadbird, unfortunately.
Seahag.
I've heard the name Seahag, but I don't know much. I'll have to look them up, but Eyehategod Phobia, definitely.
Bands that he knows that he gave you his opinion on. I haven't heard either, and the other 2 I don't know either. Neither does he, but we're going to check them out after the show.
You will hear Phobia, and your skull will just like disintegrate.
I call on Vino's in Little Rock to cancel this event and apologize for such a disrespectful image that shows the dehumanization of baby lives.
Of course, you're not actually interested in babies' lives.
This is typical of fucking death metal or in punk and like just metal at all. A politician eating a baby is a common underground promo.
Yes.
It is so goddamn common. Any politician, because politicians are fucking scum. Okay, we all know it. So, politician eating baby. Good job. You know, it's so common, it's cliche.
Yes.
And the guy definitely looks young enough that he should know what a fucking, concert promotion is.
Yeah, but he seems incredibly sheltered. Backwater, fucking, And
it's disrespectful of all who value babies' lives and people of faith. People of faith, really? There was this guy named Saul of Tarsus who, used to eat food sacrificed to pagan deities. All in an attempt to convert them because, he was the guy that, held the jackets at the stoning of the first Christian martyr. You might know him better as Paul the Apostle.
It might also be if you don't actually give a shit about baby's life.
Yeah, good job reading your Bible. Good job.
The life of the unborn child is sacred, but once they're born, fuck them. No, funding for schools or anything. Just,
well, you see, You're going all pedantic here. Whenever I'm here attacking him, say he's not even reading the holy book he claims to support.
Well, yeah,
Go
it's
ahead.
it's to going at it from two angles. And by the way, who says there's not people of faith in that band? Fuck, I think I Hate God has at least one religious member, but I don't even religion is in paganism or Satanism or something.
Yeah. They
People
also
of faith.
clearly welcomed the Satanic Temple.
Oh boy.
The Satanic Temple are not real Satanists. They are edgy atheists. Get it through your goddamn skull.
They are, yeah. They're AG atheists who.
I mean, I'm not a Satanist, but guess who is? I know this chick that goes to the fucking Church of Seven Angels. That's satanic. Oh yeah, and the host of this fucking show.
Yes, and I get called on it for being a fake Satanist trademark all the time because I actually have theistic beliefs. Now, keep in mind, I don't actually believe in like a dude with horns and a pitchfork in hell. Although that be awesome, mine's a lot more esoteric than that, but still. Although a dude with pitchfork and horns needs to co-host the show with us.
Yeah. They clearly welcome the Satanic Temple in another post I am sharing. I urge you to not frequent Vinos and stand against their hateful rhetoric. Let's see, after my thing and your post. My touring band was supposed to play Vinos years back on tour, but a freak snowstorms canceled the show. The venue ended up giving us gas money, pizza, and beer anyway, helping us find a place to stay. When you let strangers eat at your table in a snowstorm or sleep on your floor, Senator, I'll be happy to hear your opinion about how small businesses hurt your feelings with a silly flyer you didn't like.
Who wrote that?
That was Patrick Pulsar Trout.
All right.
Good man.
Well, I wonder what band he's in. So now the
DJ Burton says, I think it's actually funny that you say you care about children when Arkansas is ranked 45th in child poverty and 47th in hunger and food insecurity. Instead of doing anything about it, you're posting on Facebook making a big deal about something that isn't. It's a metal band too, so that
the fallout has been just awesome because they're getting. I have friends from Norway and the UK, and they've noticed this. Hell, I'm from California. I'm not even from Arkansas. I noticed so. Yeah, the fallout has been awesome.
Yay. We got Daniel Brain. I never heard of Eyehategod until this post. They're awesome, and I don't even listen to that much metal these days. He didn't even know the band, but he knew it was a fucking concert flyer, so he checked out the band.
It's like the time Bob Larson had the band Astron on the show, and I never heard of Astron before. Well, I think I might have heard the name like once or twice, but I never heard them before. I became an instant fan once they played To Thee We Confess on the Bob Larson show. The devil and death metal, Bob Larson, the Christian evangelist. I was like, dude, I love so. Yes, thank you, Bob Larson, for getting me into Astron. Thank you, thank you, Jason, whatever, for getting people into Eyehategod.
Mm-hmm. Jason Rapert, thank you. You're getting people into a decent band.
He is a metalhead's dream because,
Thanks for the new tune. Seriously, considering going to this show to see this awesome band I had no idea about. Thanks to you. Great job on the advertising. Keep up the good work.
Yeah. Yeah.
People have lost their minds. How much longer will God put up with this evil?
I first heard of Eyehategod when Anal Cunt did split with them doing Black Sabbath covers, and I didn't actually hear the band name or the band. I just heard the name, but I was like, Eyehategod, EYE Hate God. That is such a cool name. I had to look them up, and wow, it's amazing.
Oh God. Yeah, Eyehategod pretty much sells out every show anyway.
Oh yeah, I mean they're legends. They are legends.
You totally took the bait and ensured a sold-out show to begin with. Thank you. You don't know how these things go. That's glorious, isn't it?
Yes. It is also some of
Oh,
the.
this is good here from John Rhodes. Senator is obviously more of an acid bath fan.
Okay.
I gotta like
That's
that one. That was
that
classic.
wins. Whatever happened to Acid Bath anyway? I think they broke up. Another good band you should check out.
Okay, we had our good laughs over
That
someone not comprehending metal in the slightest, or punk, or anything.
or anything.
And the guy looks young enough to actually know what this shit is. What the fuck is wrong with this generation? How do you not know what a metal or punk promo is?
Well, even if he does know, it's him, so I have to be offended because it's me.
Yeah.
So, oh,
Brooklyn Anti-Fascist Metal Fest was a beacon for a troubled scene.
oh my god. I hope we wouldn't, but oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
I'm too sober right now. I need crack.
Yeah. A death metal band dedicating a song to survivors of sexual assault. A vocalist screaming out lyrics about struggles with body image over her mates rampage and grindcore. A song about body image. I always thought body image in metal was like your corpse is going to be eaten by maggots. Awesome.
Yeah.
Not like, please quit shaming my body. No, I'm going to die someday. I might as well go out with a bang. I mean, I'm fucking fat for a reason, bastards. I had fun with life.
I'm enjoying the good life and good food and fat and everything.
And I'm poor as shit. I make $13,000 a year.
I just don't even care about that. It's. I mean, well, you're gonna shame me for calling me fat or mentioning my eyes are weird. Oh, haven't heard those before. I embrace it.
I gotta sit here and think up of new blind jokes to you, because God,
I sent you I tagged you in the thing with the guys like.
Yeah, that was pathetic. That was like how I would have made fun of someone who was blind in preschool.
Yeah, right.
The
Yeah.
time I met you, it was like, oh God, I forget what the fuck, but what the hell did I say? I forget.
Yeah.
I've had to get more and more creative as time went on and build things up subtly and slowly. And then after you let me in the chat, I occasionally post pictures of something I know you think is cool and tell people not to tell you what it is.
Yes, you and Randy, whatever his name is, do that all the time.
Yeah.
You two are kindred spirits. Well, yeah, because the comment was something about, if any girl saw you, she'd run away at your weird eyes. I was like, I haven't heard that before. Oh, yeah, I have when I was like 3.
I remember telling you to go outside and stare at the sun. But that was more from the angle of, I want people to try to stop you from doing it, not realizing there's no point. It's already dead.
Don't do it. Oh, who cares?
He's looking at the eclipse. Stop him. I'm already blind.
So, body image. Yeah, like I said, I'm fine. I like being fat. It's my thing, and I don't care. So for me, body image means dismemberment. That's a fun image.
An artist at work mid-show painting a mural depicting a goblin-like creature tossing a swastika in a garbage can.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We all think Nazis are idiots, but this is just trying too hard.
That's really try-hard bullshit.
Yeah.
God, you gotta learn how to make fun of them on their own terms, because that's nothing.
Yeah.
Whenever you point out how much exactly like communists they are, then you've struck the nerve that needs to be hit.
Oh, they hate it.
And laugh so much better.
They hate it so much because they're just like, what? No.
Yeah. Or hell, I love reciting that one quote from fucking Hitler himself saying, if we had to choose between the capitalists and the communists, we should side with the communists. Oh God, that pisses them off to no end.
Yes.
The brainchild of metal writer and activist Kim Kelly,
Boo.
Black Flags was specifically billed as an anti-fascist gathering. That aspect of the fest came through loudly and clearly.
Full disclosure, we at Swine Brothers are not the biggest fans of Kim Kelly, as she is not the biggest fan of us.
Have you ever heard of the hashtag Learn to Code?
No, actually, I don't pay attention to
You
hashtags.
see, what happened was, years ago, a bunch of journalists, whenever a shit ton of, menial labor jobs that were, actually sort of skilled or even high skilled, like miners, whenever people ended up losing their jobs, they were just like, oh, just learn the code. It's easy. You'll be able to fucking climb the ladder if you just learn the code. I know you have lost your job as a coal miner and you fucking now have a starving family, but if you learn the code, it'll be okay.
Do you remember Anarcha when we met him and he's like, well, you guys just get jobs online. Yeah. That was 2015. He was basically saying how everyone should just get jobs online and it's so easy and
oh god.
Yeah.
Anyways, fast forward to just the past few months, and these very same journalists that told people to learn how to code at their lowest moment in life are now getting fired and laid off because, profits aren't there anymore.
Including...
So now, to jab them back for being told that you're useless scum, you should just learn to code, they started a hashtag called Learn to Code and aimed it at these guys, and now they're going through this huge spiel talking about how it's alt-right rhetoric. Oh, guess who just recently lost her journalist job?
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
Life failure, fired from third-rate website. Kim Kelly says, I am apparently now fully freelance, so if any editors out there are looking for a cuddly anarchist, anarchist is a joke. That is such a joke, how totalitarian you are. Go fuck yourself. With serious writing chops to write about labor, anarchism, anti-fascism, history, medicine, science, weird history, and or heavy metal. The only thing there that I've seen that you're sort of qualified for is heavy metal.
The sad thing about Kim...
decent taste in music, but you let politics destroy that.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. The sad thing about Kim Kelly is she should know better because she actually has a decent taste in music. Like, she's turned me on to some bands that, but, sort of like Shane Mathis. Shane Mathis actually has, a taste in music that could be called decent. It's just
LOL, Vice just laid me off. This is from Death Metal Underground if you want to read the whole article. They're a bit right-leaning, so if you can either take it or you actually like your right-leaning shit, go right on down there. It's a good site for that.
Just make fun of...
They sometimes get a little bit too involved in the shitting on different bands, but it's decent, all right.
I just make fun of the idiocy. The funny thing though is they're not always the best at taking criticism.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember one of the guys I was saying, because I thought one of the articles was like, one of my friends said, wow, I've read pro-Nazi pages that were less biased than this.
Yeah.
The guy didn't like that at all.
So let's go over some more tweets of her just recently losing her job.
Yay!
A very cool thing about the Vice layoffs is that they waited until the first of the month, the day when people generally need to pay their rent, to destroy 250 people's livelihoods. You absolute soulless bastards. That's what we got to say for not planning, because you obviously got the paycheck. I make $13,000 a year. There is no way you're not making at least triple that. You should be able to save some money, because I can save $5 here, $10 there.
She is shit.
Fucking, I saved up enough to put a down payment on a fucking car over the course of a year, mind you. But yeah, I could eventually get a fucking second-rate crap kicker Kia Rio. That's actually in the past decade. Oh my god, it's the first time I got anything that modern. It's like
you actually have a newer car than we do, which I think is hilarious. Because we like cars here. You just use cars as tools. But
Yeah.
the funny thing here is, she has shit squirreled away. She's just trying to be miss. I'm a victim. Wham wham. Pity me. Feel sorry for me. She still has freelance jobs and things like that, so she's still getting money in, and she had enough money to do this. Black Flags Over Brooklyn festival.
Yeah.
I don't think that's very cheap.
Motherfuckers shut off my work email before they even called me. So if you were expecting an email back about a story in progress or a pitch, good for you. Learn to code. There's a reason I didn't learn to code. And why I didn't learn to code was, at first, I was kicked out of college because financial aid backed out. And then I got a phone call from financial aid years later after I'd been married saying that, I died in the Oklahoma City bombing because that's what my father told them. So it was my father's fault. But then when I went homeless, I sat there and thought about it and realized financial aid wouldn't have called home if I was actually showing up to class. Therefore, me learning not to code was actually my own fault for not showing up to class and therefore dropping out of college.
Yes.
I was too stupid to see I dropped out of college. It took me a fucking decade to figure out I dropped out of college because I was so busy blaming other people. And trust me, these bitches are going to be fucking blaming other people for a while too. Go ahead, have your fun, poke fun at them, but just give them time. They may accept it or they may just continue down that path. Who knows?
I never learned to code because I'm a technological illiterate. I don't even know how to make hyperlinks.
Oh, God, dude.
Well, I mean, okay,
I can understand why. It's because you got to fucking break out your Braille note.
I know how to make links on like Facebook and but I don't know how to
Yeah. A really fun part about all this is how instead of doing all this in one fell swoop, HR calls people up individually, one by one, throughout the day, so everyone is just in a state of constant panic. Actually, I think calling people up one by one to notify them personally that you're terminated is very, very respectful.
I think it's
They
better than
just came in the room and said, "Okay, you're all fired." There's no one-on-one contact to say, we actually valued your time here, but unfortunately we have to let you go.
Part of me does get what she's saying is that you're always wondering if you're going to be the next one called up, but at the same time, at least you're being called up rather than just, okay, by the way, you're all laid off. Bye.
By the way, you're all fired. Bang, 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 bang. And executed. Enjoy.
Holy shit.
Falling down, falling down, falling down.
That's the singing stylings of the gym.
A briefcase, a lunch, and a man on the edge. Yeah, I gotta love Maiden.
Well, yeah. Who doesn't?
Anonymous trolls tweeting in glee about Vice layoffs are absolute cowards. Just like you were a coward telling me to
I'm
learn
not
how to
anonymous.
code.
My
Telling
name's on
coal
my.
miners how to code? You want to tell coal miners how to code. Okay. And I'm not just talking about alt-right idiots. Your problems with this company and its executives should not be directed at low-level workers just trying to make a living.
Except
Looking
for
at your haircut, you definitely need to rage.
except for you.
This was only posted because Kim Kelly retweeted it.
Except for you're not a low level worker, are you? You're someone with an axe to
Making
grind.
at least 3 times as much as I do. Try living off of $13K a year. It's tricky. And I can still save money. What the fuck's up with you?
Pennsylvania and California, living off $13K a year would be, freeway
Oh, that
underpass.
would be death. I understand
Well,
that.
where I live.
But let me have my moment mocking them for being Richie Riches compared to me.
They're probably making over $100K a year anyway.
Yeah.
It's but the thing is, she's not a low level worker. She's not, the janitor, or the poor web designer who never gets a voice. She clearly has an axe to grind and an agenda to push. She's a featured writer. She's not a low level worker. I
I
mean,
really woke up to the news that at least 12 of my close co-workers, and possibly me, who's to say, have had their livelihoods ripped out from under them because some rich people decided they weren't rich enough yet. You do real? Do you do, look? Okay, back when I used to sell drugs, I understood something called supply and demand. I also knew when I had enough money to move to the next level of my drug dealing. That was, jumping from selling um, ounces to selling quarter pounds to selling half pounds. You know how
yeah,
you know how that's structured, and when I had to cut back because okay, the supply's not there, or I'm not making enough money off of selling it this, and then I have to sell less for a while to catch back up to figure out what my profit margin is. This is basic supply demand. um, Fucking having enough revenue to keep the
yeah,
company going. And I learned this selling drugs. You went through full college. You went through college and got a fucking degree, and you didn't learn this. This is basic. Fucking, I learned this off the fucking goddamn streets. Uh, 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 and you couldn't learn this after how many years of college?
well, yeah. Of course, if it was someone else, it would be supply and demand. But if because it's her, it's personal, and they hate her, and they hate bunnies and puppies, and they all want to kill kittens.
Global restructuring is corporate for fuck you, Porus. I don't you dare call yourself poor. You're making at least 3 times the amount I am. Fuck you. You fucking richy rich whore.
And it's not like you're even out of a job. Okay, you're out of this job. You have plenty of freelance things. You write for the Rolling Stone, for God's sake.
Uh-huh. Which the
It's,
Rolling Stone in that article we were just talking
yes,
about
yes.
just
So
got done selling. Kim
if
Kelly, who has contributed to Rolling Stone. So you still have paychecks coming in. Don't come
yes,
fucking crying to me.
it's not
Learn the
like
code. Learn the code if you're going to cry that much.
it's like okay, let's say I have other shows or I appear on shows, and let's say you die somehow, which I always hope you do, and I can't find a
I am
decent
older than you. It's going to come before you, probably.
unless I die in the next 5 seconds. So I have to find so Swine Brothers ends because I can't find another co-host. Someone stupid enough to do this. So, but I'm not going to complain about losing my show because I will have other shows. Look for another job and things.
Go out and write reviews for some godforsaken website under a fucking pen name.
That 3 people visit.
Mm-hmm.
I even ghostwrite reviews for Metal Archives. That's the sad part.
Lovely.
Well, yeah.
But ghostwriter's money, so yeah, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
fucking begrudge you for not putting your name on it.
Well, yeah. Some of the stuff I wish you could put my name on it.
I mean, fuck, if you put your name on it, would probably cause the website to come crashing down. I mean, look at this show. Look at this show. God. That would just being within 5 miles of it destroys people's lives.
Yes, if our like one fan is listening, hello, you know who you are.
That would. Oh God, yes, you know who you are. Oh God. Anyways, and that aspect of the fest came through loudly and clearly. Available merch items included tote bags printed in Gothic font phrase, fuck NSBM. Well, I have to admit that some National Socialist, well, most National Socialist black metal is garbage. There are a couple decent bands.
I
I
have to
forget what they
say,
are.
I have to interrupt you right now and say the new Dark Fury album, Flooded Lands, was an awesome slice of Polish black metal. Dark Fury's NSBM.
Yeah.
Just for those of you who didn't get that riff, so that's why I had to interrupt Jim and blatantly plug.
Yeah, I was hoping you would.
Yes, probably download it. Maybe don't. I mean,
Now, keep in mind, because of the subject matter, you have to, be able to get past the politics. Just like early Bound for Glory, you really had to get past the politics because fuck. It's great music, some catchy lyrics for fucking Bound for Glory, but those
Oh,
early days, they really pushed the Nazi shit.
yeah.
More currently with fucking, what the hell was the one that was
Well, that
just released?
Ironborn.
Ironborn, yeah. Fucking shit.
It's a little
Great
more
album, but they really toned back the fucking Nazi rhetoric. It was mostly pride shit, but still, some of it still seeped through, and the legacy, obviously. And you know, and if you actually like the music, remember, you don't have to financially support it. Arr, me mateys. Yar, 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 yar. Walk the plank.
the good news about Dark Furies, you can't understand what the hell they're saying anyway,
Mhm.
because it's either Polish or broken English, and the black metal shrieks and stuff. So, but yeah, it is available on various things, and so if you don't feel like supporting the band, yeah,
Arr, me matey. Hi, hi, kids.
not that we're encouraging that or anything.
No, we can't encourage that, sadly. And sadly, NSBM is still rearing its head in recent years that promotes openly racist or bigoted views. They have a fixation on misogynistic violence.
Well, yeah, the
Oh,
views are stupid, but whatever.
Tomb of the Mutilated. Dun, 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 Cannibal Corpse classic.
Well, yeah, she hates that album. Oh yeah, she bitches about that album.
In a pre-fest interview, Kelly described her own path to more conscientious brand of metal fandom.
I used to be conscientious, and then I accidentally heard "Voice of Britain" by Screwdriver because I had for the first album, back when they were just a street punk band. And then I wasn't going to check out the '82 onward Screwdriver because I was like anti-Nazi, which I still am, but you know what I mean. And then I accidentally heard "Voice of Britain." I was like, "Damn, this is catchy."
Yeah.
And I have changed the lyrics to "Voice of Satan" just to annoy them.
Great.
Come
That's
on,
another
invert.
way to. Oh, I love that because I changed one joke, one word, and one joke, and it pissed off the fucking neo Nazis I often debated with when I was younger. What do you call a billion people at the bottom of the sea? A good start.
Yeah,
And
that
you
is.
can imagine what the original joke was. I normally say it, but I'm not going to this time.
But but yeah, because most Nazis hate Satan, Satanism, because it's based on lies. So I changed it to this is the voice of Satan. Come on, invert the cross now.
Yeah.
They got pissed.
They hate Satanism because we want to be the good guys. No, you're not. Satan's more of a good guy than you ever were.
There are some satanic Nazis, but they usually drift to paganism because
Yeah.
they find that Satan's more about the self and more about being an elite based on what you've done rather than just some arbitrary thing
Oh
like,
god, what I loved seeing was the rift in fucking Norse, like fucking religions, Neo Norse.
yes,
Oh
neo-pagan.
god, because you had the Nazis coming in saying, "Yeah, hail Thor," and then like the ones that just wanted to do the more traditional thing, no, fuck you, Nazis, get the hell out of my country. You don't belong here, and your
Oh
fucking
yeah,
Christianized fucking version of everything going on. Get the fuck back out of here.
oh yeah. The national the main pagan religion in Norway has basically distanced itself from Varg Vikernes like time and time again. A because of the connotations, and B because they're like, yeah, and all the stuff that he gets wrong. We like embracing the old gods or whatever, but the society wasn't barbaric at all.
Yeah,
Which Vikernes seems to think, or seem to think, I don't know what he believes now, that we should return to barbarism, which I mean would be fun, but it's not realistic.
it's not realistic though. Oh god, it's always fun to fantasize about returning to barbarism and eating people, eating your neighbors.
Eat thy neighbor.
When I was younger, before I really became politically educated, some of the bands I covered or worked with had views or lyrics I would never in a million years condone or give a platform to now, she said.
I mean, if I only listened to bands I agreed with, what, Dissection?
Oh
Well,
God.
that's it. No Slayer because Tom's a Christian and the other ones aren't actually Satanists. No Napalm Death. Yeah. No,
Uh-huh.
no Iron Maiden. And hell, I'm sure Dissection disagrees, so I wouldn't listen to any music at all.
But as much as Black Flags embodied a communal stand against an insidious influence, dude, you realize that NSBN, okay, metal in itself is small compared to pop music.
NSBM is exceedingly small.
Black metal is exceedingly small compared to the majority of metal, which is huge in comparison to black metal. And this is an exceedingly tiny part of metal. And NSBM is an infinitesimal percentage of that. So
Yeah,
you're
I mean,
casting big doom and gloom over three people in a garage.
and then you have to think about the known NSBM bands, whereas take that away from all the bedroom bands and well, 20, 30 bands or so, but most of my music is not political. There's
Yeah.
far more left wing punk bands by far,
Mm-hmm.
unless they believe that incantation are Nazis because they don't like Judeo Christianity or something. I don't even.
Briefly taking the stage near the end of the fest, Kelly proclaimed that the fest was about taking our scene back.
You never had it to begin with, Kelly.
Yeah, I know. And really, you do realize that metal has always been the war of words. And the point of the war of words is the fact there will never, ever, ever be a winner. Not in a billion years will there ever be a winner in the war of words.
The band
It's
Blasphemy.
all there just to test your metal, give you all the fucking ideas you can handle, from Nietzsche to fucking G.G. Allen to fucking, you know, Marquis
The,
de Sade to fucking, Winston Churchill, just all these ideas roaming through your fucking head, sane, insane. It's just all there. And you sit there introspectively and ask, well, how do I really think about this? Without the normal knee jerk, oh my God, I got to hate everything because this is too extreme reaction most people have. You sit there and just start thinking, well, what do I really think? What do I really feel? And you start weighing, taking bits, saying this is me, rejecting other stuff that you used to have, rejecting others, and it just congeals into a new human being slowly over time.
oh yeah, and that's when I read Varg Vikernes' writings. I mean, I didn't want, I was, but I like some of his things. There was the Canadian band called Blasphemy, which has a black guitarist, and they used to hang out with skinheads, and they knew that some of the skinheads had right wing, if not Nazi politics, and the unspoken rule was don't talk about politics or about race or anything, because if you gave you know the guitarist any shit, he would most likely put your head through a window. You know, so but they hung out with them and coexisted.
Yet that, plus you had, fucking a lot of things are just fucking.
Because you wouldn't want to mess with Blasphemy. Trust me, the the myth of the nice Canadians goes out the window with them. I mean, they're actually very nice, but they've been known to like swing hatchets at people. And
Yeah, it's like, everyone thinks, oh, they burned the churches down for Satan. Well, a lot of those people burned the churches down because they built the churches on top of sacred pagan land. They wanted
yes,
to return to the actual pagan roots and fucking say, get out of here, you foreign religion.
yes. Although you know, yeah, exactly. As Varg Vikernes says, we talk about the history. Well, let's remove this part of the history and see what's underneath. Personally, I think burning churches. It's
Well, it was
fun.
childish and fucking, it
Oh, it's
probably
fun,
was fun, but
but
it's also childish and immature. Just saying, look,
yeah,
I'm going to do this really extreme thing, like yeah, and that's the way kids are. It's all
I do think it had to be
being a
done.
moron.
I do think it had to be done, though. That's
Yeah, because you needed something in history to say, look, that there's other ways of looking at shit, but people aren't going to take it like that. They're going to be like, metal's all about Satan, therefore it was just burned. No, it wasn't.
of course there are people in the satanic community that embraced it.
Yeah, you also get your copycats going out there and doing it because it was cool for the
and then you also have
dude.
pagans who think, well, why are you burning them that beautiful piece of? I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah,
Christian.
the pagans there were a lot of pagans that got pissed off over it because, yeah, it might have been Christian, but it was great architecture, great artwork, you know.
Meanwhile,
Yeah,
I can't see, so I'm indifferent.
yeah.
Yeah, furniture. But yeah, it is. It is. I think its time has passed, but it's fun to read about.
Bands, organizers, and attendees alike seemed intent on demonstrating that a metal-oriented event explicitly lacking not just in outright prejudice, but also in the everyday inequalities that most metal fans simply take for granted.
Well, yeah,
You apparently never had your fucking testicles stomped on by a fucking high heel in the middle of a mosh pit. I have. Yes, it was an accident because she didn't see me go down until it was too late, and then she was shoved right on top of me. That's just how mosh pits work. It wasn't like, I might have even respected her if it was intentional, but I saw what the hell happened. It wasn't.
When you get into metal, and for me, there wasn't really a choice. For me, it was a very natural thing because the music spoke to me. You know that on some level, especially if you're in the really underground thing, and especially if you look into left hand path beliefs, that you're going to be an outcast. There's no there's no ifs, ands, or buts. And yeah, when I was like 15, it was kind of like, well, why can't I just be accepted? Why? But now it's like, yeah, I'm an outcast. People shy away from me. Cool.
I was the satanic baby killer of Jeanette. Even though I've never been a Satanist, and whenever they didn't find the 1,000 or so infant corpses that were supposedly in my dad's backyard after my father's house went up for sheriff's sale, bank sale, because he defaulted on the loan, and cops just came by to check out the rumors, and they proved to be untrue. They decided to shift the story from me burying them in the backyard to me opening an evil vortex directly to hell to hand the baby infants over straight to the Dark Lord himself.
Here you go, dude. Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, really. If I had that power, dear God, I wouldn't be throwing babies to Satan. I'd be grabbing all the people that pissed me off and bullied me in high school and saying, "Here you go." Oh my God, why am I here? Shut up, you're in hell now. Enjoy.
And Satan's like, "Hey, you want to watch him
burn?" I love
it.
whatever fucking people start like. There were a couple kids saying, "Is it true that like whenever a Satanist kills someone, they go straight to hell?" I didn't even bother answering. I just folded my hands together with and walked away. And they're like, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." Dude, it kept them from bullying me, so I didn't care if I got a bad name for it.
I get a lot.
I didn't get any more baseball bats taken to my head except for whenever my mouth got me into trouble. I earned that beating, though. All those beatings that my mouth got me into, yeah, I earned that.
If I wanted a drama-free life, I would have just stayed an atheist because I got like, oh, you don't believe in anything, blah 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 blah. But yeah, I get like people afraid that I'm going to sacrifice their kittens, which I wouldn't sacrifice a kitty. Kitties are cool.
Kitties are cool and cute. Sacrifice people.
Yeah, sacrifice people, not kitties.
Especially politicians. We do not
Yes.
endorse assassination, but this is human sacrifice we're talking about, not assassination.
Yes. But and so the other so but would you really want everyone to just you listen to metal, oh well good, and everyone hugs you and do
Yeah,
you really want that?
I don't want the hug box. I like it when the people who hug me are people I actually give a shit about.
I mean,
You
yeah.
know, I mean,
The,
I could see if someone's completely plastered ass drunk and fucking tripping on 12 hits of acid. I love you, Jim. Okay, whatever. I love you, telephone pole. Okay. I love you, pool of vomit. Yeah, you're that con.
I mean, what I'm saying is though that there are certain, I guess, uh, things that keep the undesirables away, and being metal is one of them. I wouldn't want everyone to accept me,
I don't want everyone to accept me. I'd rather keep my circle of friends small so I could actually keep track of all the names
and so I don't wind
and
up with.
actually know who I can actually trust
Yes,
and how far I can trust them.
yes. A good friend to help you move. A great friend to help you move a body.
And a best friend would be the one providing the body, and you'd automatically know, oh wow, that was the guy I hated for 16 years. Good job. You wanted me to help you move this body just because the body was the present for
Yes.
me.
So yes, about inequalities of metalheads. Like I said, I'm fine with people thinking a girl thinking that Death Clock sounded like a 20-car pileup. Death Clock. Now I like Death Clock more than Jim does, although he likes the show. But even I'll admit that it's musical junk food. It's pop melodic death metal.
Hmm.
And if you think that sounds like a 20-car pileup, you ain't gonna like Archgoat.
Inequalities that most metal fans simply take for granted. For example, a stifling preponderance of straight white males, both on stage and in the crowd. So, guys can't enjoy shit unless chicks enjoy it first.
I never really, because most of the metalheads I knew when I was like 15. It was funny because I hung out with a bunch of girls when I was 15 because they were the metalheads and they were into like Satanic Gore Master and stuff. I thought that was hilarious. It was like, wait, I'm hanging out with a bunch of chicks who, you know,
Oh,
I,
God.
I was in the girly circle.
Well, I had my profile up on fucking Plenty of Fish years ago. I mean, I got another one up now, but the original one, I had it written out saying, all this cool shit about like metal and things I did. And like, this one chick emailed me out of the blue saying, you know what? I met Cannibal Corpse too. I did an interview with them in college. How'd you meet them? Oh, well, I just fucking started talking to them whenever they were opening up for Misfits. And, I just ignored the Misfits and hung out with them and ended up puking on myself and saying, oh, there's nothing wrong with vomiting the soul.
That would have been a great show. I liked the Misfits at that era, and Cannibal. Wow, that would have been.
Yeah, but I wanted to hang out with Cannibal Corpse more
Oh
than I
yeah,
wanted to
definitely.
see Misfits.
Oh yeah, and that was with Corpse Grinder.
Mm-hmm.
He's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, he is. He told me to hose myself off, then fed me more beer after I did.
Massive nerd.
I mean, his first response was like, dude, you okay? Oh, there's nothing wrong with vomiting the soul. Hey, good one. Now go out and hose yourself off.
Yeah, Corpse Grinder is awesome. Massive nerd.
Uh-huh.
You and him would get along swimmingly.
Uh-huh. We did get along pretty well the one time we met.
Yeah.
I forget everything that was discussed, but I just remember that scene because I was an inexperienced drinker at the time because I was still underage. And I was just so plastered. I just kept slamming them back like it was water, and it was hot out on top of it all. And it was just bound to happen. I was going to puke on myself.
When I met Glenn Benton
But I
from
got beer to wash the vomit caused by me drinking too much beer.
Yes. When I met Glenn Benton in Deicide in 2013, everyone around him, because he came up before the show, and everyone around him was, being all sycophantic, and I was like, "Hey, Glenn, big fan." I talked to him just like he was just another metalhead. We talked about, 80s death metal demos, that 5 people have heard of,
Who the fuck
and
was Beefcake during We Kill Everything?
uh, the album Mike Bishop, the tour Casey Orr.
Okay, so it was Casey Orr that I was hanging out with before the show, and me and him had this huge conversation about the mechanics of what happens backstage at Guar.
Mm-hmm.
You know how he said, we started off using like fucking fire extinguishers and doing this with them and drilling holes here and doing that. I was like, really? And I'm taking mental notes of this while I'm tripping on 6 hits of acid.
Yeah, Brocky told me they used to use, even before that, water bottles hidden under the arm, made with, dyed blood. So you basically, you just put the arm together and bleeding.
Yeah.
Goes back with, in the very early days. And then they use fire extinguisher. Now they have this thing that looks like a missile or something backstage. But yeah, there's a Glenn and everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's good." And I was, he didn't seem like an ass to me. He seemed like a just cool metal guy. And we talked about, like I said, he was actually me. He's like, "How do you know the band Confusion?" I was like, "Cause I'm a special kind of me." So,
This could actually feel more urgent, more ferocious, more fun. In short, more metal than a gig without this kind of social justice focus. How do you make social justice fun?
how do you? Why
Because
not
the
just?
whole thing is built upon shaming people and feeling bad and, and other people feeling vindicated at the expense of others.
You know, I hosted 2 parties, backyard parties with bands, and there was no politics. There was no people got up and played, and it was fun. And I wish you could have seen it because it was awesome.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
no politics. There was no, and yet some of the bands, Social Overload in particular, put on very ferocious performances. I always wonder what happened to Social Overload. Great band. Um, you know, they were ferocious. So yeah, there was no politics. There was no other means. It was literally just, hey, the blind kid who lives far away is having a party.
Mhm.
Should do that again one day.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be. I miss listening to bands live. Getting your ears blown out, then having the cops come.
Ultimately, it wasn't just fascism in the crosshairs. It was any element that might make anyone in the building feel anything less than welcome and vital.
I don't want to feel welcome and vital. I mean,
Okay, back whenever I was first getting into metal, okay, I was at one of the local VFD shows we had here. And just small rinky-dink bands no one ever even heard of, and I forget half their names. Necrotomy was one of them, but there are 6 bands named Necrotomy, and I haven't found the sound that I remember. So I, you know,
yes.
but anyways, while I'm at one of these underground death metal shows, so one of the first few I was at, there was some guy there that called me a poser. So I rattled off talking about, killing enough people so that they call the military on me, and I carjack myself a tank and start driving over people and shooting people randomly at drive-bys and all this shit. It sounded like I was going to people today. It would sound like I was just talking about a kill frenzy on Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.
But this was about 5-6 years before the first Grand Theft Auto was even a pipe dream. You know,
Yeah.
the top-down view Grand Theft Auto, before that was even released, I was talking about this shit. And I thought I was fucking hardcore going off like this because this is just the shit that was just floating around my head. And then the guy laughed at me, patted me on the back, started talking to me. And at first I thought, yeah, I proved I wasn't a poser. No, I proved I actually was a poser because I didn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And through him talking to me about these really heavy concepts, I think we were talking about like the uh, purpose of free will and if it truly exists. And that let me know this is what a true metalhead talks about, is not the random kill frenzy, but contemplate the random kill frenzy in terms, is that actually free will, or are you just enacting the part of a slave?
Yeah, actually putting
Are
some
you such a
intellectual weight
slave
on
to your own, desires that you're just going to go out there and randomly shoot people just to get a tank?
Well, also, I was going to say that, like, we were at my grandparents' or my aunt's house, and they were playing music, and "Take No Prisoners" by Megadeth came on. That
Hmm.
song is going to make my head go up and down violently. That song is going to make me scream and shout and do all those things. I felt welcome and vital then by the music. I'm sure everyone else thought I needed to be checked into a mental hospital, but I didn't care at that point. There was
Oh,
literally there
hell.
was no one else there when I was, it was me and the music. Everyone else died.
Uh, Battery. Metallica's Battery
Yeah.
was playing on the tape deck while I was driving around with some people, and I was headbanging furiously in the back seat. And a cop pulled us over asking if I had a seizure. That was so beautiful.
Isn't it just such a magical moment when it doesn't matter if it's live
When
or,
people,
or
whenever you're just so into music, you don't give a shit how the fuck you look, and you actually take it as a compliment that someone thinks you have a serious medical problem, and
yeah,
all you're doing is just headbanging. I had to explain to him, the cop, what headbanging was.
but isn't it just a magical feeling when it doesn't matter if you're at a show or just listening to music when everyone around you just melts away and you're not in the room anymore. You're just in this plane with the music
Hmm.
and you look to anyone who's looking like a complete idiot. But it doesn't matter because all that matters is you and the music. That's
Hell, I took Danemon down on a date to go see Slayer with me during their farewell tour
yeah.
just last year, and fucking shit, she was there saying how much of an, like, she couldn't hear any of the damn music because I just kept screaming the lyrics to songs I knew. I was like, well, you could hear the music to the songs that I didn't know, because I don't know everything off the newer albums. I knew up until like everything from Show No Mercy up until God Hates Us All.
Yeah.
I knew those lyrics, but they played all the albums after that, and I didn't know those lyrics, so I stayed quiet and just headbanged and thrashed about to that shit. So I was like, yeah, you could hear that lyrics. Yeah, but that was like, 6 songs out of how many?
19. So yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm beating the piss out of myself during fucking chemical warfare just because it was just like, oh my God. I couldn't help but to punch myself in the face over that.
So there was
Just
another thing.
because it was just so awesome. It was just like the natural reflexes, like nothing can see where the sleeping souls lie. Chemical warfare.
So that was a band that I saw when I didn't really know any of their songs because I was a newbie. But even then, I still went into that zone of, I am the only person here. It's just me and the band because they put on such an energetic performance. Like I said, it was. I think it works especially because I'm blind because I don't see people, so I can sort of tune them out of my world, I guess.
God, 43 years old, over 2 decades being a fucking metalhead, and that shit still just gets inside me like,
I don't know how many times I've heard "Angel of Death." Gotta be hundreds, and that song still gets to me. If you say you don't like "Angel of Death," I don't believe you.
yes, the way that I
Yeah.
want you to die.
So the point of it is, I feel welcoming and vital because of the music. Everyone else may think I'm a blind freak, but they don't exist when the music starts.
Exactly.
You
And if they do exist, they are your enemy. Even if
yeah,
they're your best friend, they are the enemy. They will go down. And that's what we call a mosh pit, flailing about chaotically. Yeah.
exactly.
Mm. Fuck, we were just sitting. We didn't have a Walkman or anything. I mean, this one kid I knew. We're just walking down the street and we just started like rambling on fucking Megadeth lyrics. I forget which album we were going to, which song even we were going to. We're just rambling the lyrics and just us rambling the lyrics back and forth. We started moshing, walking down the street with nothing playing.
I'm sure people were like,
just because we remembered what the song sounded like, it went in our heads, and we just started moshing in the middle of the street for about 30 seconds before, like, we realized, oh shit, we're out in public, and they might think we're fighting.
oh, that is a great story. So yes, people don't exist when the music starts. And
a couple pointlessly aggro mosh pits as outbursts aside.
Well, you're not even allowed to. I mean, I don't always mosh pit. Sometimes I just sort of stand there.
But you're gonna bitch about the mosh pits.
But I'm never like still. My head goes up and down, and oh god,
they're actually right here. A couple pointlessly aggro mosh outbursts aside. Oh, pointlessly aggro. You're not metal if you don't fucking know what the pit is. Even if you don't jump in it, you must respect its glory.
The only thing I hate is crowd killing, but
yeah,
that's the metalcore shit. But oh god, I am the master of making my neck not move properly the next day.
Oh god, I don't know much more of this I could take after a line like a couple pointlessly aggro ball bursts aside. Oh, can't mosh anymore. No pit. Go fuck yourself.
Yes, we
this maggot that needs to fucking crawl up your own ass because you love licking it already. Just crawl up inside it.
Fugazi, and they wouldn't let them. They would. I don't know how you moshed to Fugazi, but they wouldn't let anyone mosh. If you tried moshing at a show, you'd be kicked out.
Yeah, fuck those people.
Well, yeah.
Black Flags succeeded in its inclusive vision. And 3 people who showed up in the audience because this sounds totally lame.
I don't want inclusive. I don't want my parents and like family to feel, oh, this is safe music. I want them to feel like, oh my god, why did you drag me here? Oh my god, we're gonna die. And I'm just sitting there going.
It's funny when my mom gets it back in her head that, you're probably going to go out and start killing people. Mom, I've been listening to fucking metal for like 20 years. If I was going to kill anyone, I would have done it whenever I was like 16. Not now. Not when I went legit. And metal's what inspired me to go legit. Come on.
Well, I still say we'll meet.
Oh. It's fucking hilarious. Let's get some baby killer music.
I still say whenever we meet, we'll try to kill each other.
Probably.
But we're both fat and lazy, so that won't really end well.
Yeah, it will not end well. Bands fronted by women, as well as trans and non-binary people.
I've seen bands fronted by women before. Some of them are good, some of them are not good. Just like band fronted by men, and a rare example, band fronted by an African gray parrot.
Mm-hmm.
I love Girl School. Girl School is a great band, all female band.
Owned the Weekend. I doubt it. Iowa's Closet Witch. Have you heard of them? Closet Witch.
I looked up some of these bands. Some of them are good. I don't remember anything about Closet Witch, so that tells you.
It was probably shit. Okay. Playing their first ever East Coast show. Delivered a brief, withering Saturday set. Drawing on their excellent 2018 self-titled debut.
Cool.
I don't care.
They're probably decent. I just don't really. I've heard of none of these bands, by the way. Well, I've heard of one of these bands.
Sunrot?
Nope.
Occultist?
No.
Cloud Rat?
I've heard of the name, but I've never. Yeah, these are all like unknown fucking. Well, I've heard from one of my friends that I think Cultists and Cloud Rat are pretty good, but yeah, I've never heard of any of these bands.
Vile Creature?
I've heard the name. I don't know anything about the band.
Chapang.
No, like I said, these.
Oh wow, that reminds me of fucking the MAGA kids with the way that guy's drumming.
What happened?
You gonna run up into someone's face now and start drumming in his face inches away, singing songs?
Yes.
That's
Um.
Chapang. It does not look impressive at all.
No, it's.
It looks like someone got like a useless hippie off the street and
I
then
actually did look
fed
up the.
him all the wrong drugs and then put him up in front of the stage. Not the good drugs, but the wrong drugs.
I actually
Like
did look up the lineup
heroin.
just to see, if there were any bands I knew. And like I said, there are bands that I've heard of, but I've never bothered to check out any of them because I've just, never bothered to.
Paul Sal Tinnitus.
No.
Neckbeard Death Camp. Oh god,
God, they
such
are
a
horrible.
that's such a hipster name.
They
These
are,
guys are horrible.
no, let me have this here. Their first album, I think, is called like "White Nationalism is for Basement Dwelling Losers," which I'm not saying it isn't, but it is horrible black metal mixed with noise. It is literally, yeah, the worst thing I've heard last year. It was even worse than Markstrom, the communist black metal band.
Yeah.
It was worse than Markstrom.
Glacial Tomb.
No. God, Neckbeard Death Camp.
Dawn Raid.
Dawn Raid's actually a good band. One of my friends, what I actually got into that. One of my friends who kept complaining about shit talked about how they were into Antifa, and I was like, well, before I have to sort of hear they're actually pretty good. Just that they can't keep politics out of music.
Yeah. So I'll have to check them out then.
You're gonna check out Neckbeard Death Camp because I'm going to send it to you. You'll hate it, but
Race Trader.
Race Trader. That's actually a pretty good band. Hardcore punk. Weirdly enough, one of the members from the horrible band Fall Out Boy was in the band for a couple minutes in like 2000. They're actually a decent band.
Gemini, spelled E-Y-E.
No, I've never heard of them.
Tridroid Label.
No. So yes, most of these bands are.
The Defest message was pervasive. It never overwhelmed the music. For what you're saying, at least one of the bands it would have overwhelmed the music.
I think the festival's message was, we have a lot of no-name bands that will never do anything.
Because they want to be safe.
I mean,
the act's glorious din was the focus, and their gracious, impassioned performances fostered a warm, celebratory vibe.
I don't want to go to a metal show to have
I
a
want
gracious
challenged. I want to confront ideas I disagree with and would vomit on in a second, just so I could contemplate them in a different light and see what I really think. And maybe it'll still make me vomit.
Exactly.
Maybe it won't.
I don't want to go to a metal show unless it's like a power metal show, which Jim can make fun of me for, whatever. I don't want to go to a extreme metal show to watch a warm and gracious performance. I want to go there, not be able to hear anything for the next 2 weeks, and have my head throb, and be murdered.
Body aching, throat scratched, can't talk, fucking eyes still watering days after because
Vomiting up blood because
you were just thrown in the meat grinder and came out and was like, yeah, I survived.
And then a week later, we do the show. Welcome to the Swine Brothers show.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't want to go and have. It's like you don't go to. I don't want to go to a death metal show and have a. I mean, I want to have a good time, but I don't want to have a good time in that respect.
I don't want to have all the fuzzy feels. I want fucking daggers in my back.
I want rotting corpses thrown at me.
Yes, yes. Maggot-infested rotting corpses just hurled off the stage
What
unceremoniously.
was the band that did?
That's a show.
What's the band that did that? They went to, I think it was the Feeders, the hardcore punk band. They went to a vet and found a dog's corpse in a garbage can, and they threw it, made a song. They did not kill the dog. It was already dead. It was in a garbage can. So, but they threw it. And the best part is there was a bunch of vegans in the first two rows.
I got myself a cheap dollar store baby doll and went to see Roar and hurled the baby doll up on stage during their song Baby Raper, which they opened with, and through about halfway the set they kept molesting the doll before finally hurling it back into the audience.
Yes, exactly.
That is metal.
Pig heads on spikes. Although the Mayhem had the pig heads.
Mm-hmm.
Although the funny thing is, Peter was like, Mayhem is sacrificing pig heads, and I actually know one of the guys who worked at a butcher shop, and he goes, "No, they just asked for 20 pig heads."
Why not? We're going to dump them anyway.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You know, if we can make $5 off of it, we'll make $5 off of it.
Well, exactly. Whenever Gorgoroth did their thing in Krakow in Poland, with the the crucified nuns and things like that, and they they had animal parts on stage, and the Polish government tried to bring them up on animal cruelty charges, which Infernus was like, we just got these at the butcher shop. They have a lot of parts that they don't use.
The music was kind of sarcastic, and I forget the band's name, but there was one band that's known for the lead singer actually being crucified on stage every set. They actually take the hammer and nail the fucking nails through his hands, and he just sits up there on a cross for a song or two before they pull him down.
I was going to say there are a couple bands known for that, but I've never heard anything that extreme.
Mm-hmm.
Coven had a thing where they had a roadie on the cross, but I don't think he actually had his.
I mean, it's one of those things I'd want to see just to see the stage show, because I heard the music and it kind of sucks.
After the show, we'll try to find the band. I'm curious now.
Yeah, an ex-girlfriend showed him to me. I was like, oh, cool.
Coven did that, but like I said, I don't think they just knew. They had just had a guy who had basically most of the show he just hung out on the cross, just looking around.
Uh-huh. During Cloud Rat's fest capping set, as a diverse sea of bodies slammed into one another, grins were rampant in the crowd. The mood was one of relief and elation, a faction of a larger scene taking self-inventory and discovering that it really was possible to retain all that had drawn these individuals to the metal scene in the first place.
Now, elation I felt at a metal show many times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, when Napalm Death took the stage. I mean, Exhumed and Repulsion and Attitude Adjustment already played amazing shows, sets. And, I love all those bands. But when when Exhumed did a Siege cover, when they did Drop Dead, I think my brain exploded. Because I love the band
I
Siege.
forget which Ozfest this was. It was probably like 98, maybe. I don't know. I just remember I went there and I just gotten off third shift and went straight there, no sleep. Okay.
Yep.
And I was alive throughout the entire fucking day, all these kick-ass bands. And then, just as Marilyn Manson was about to play, I fell asleep. During the one band I knew that sucked, I fell asleep. And the moment he left stage, I awoke refreshed and vital and ready to go for whenever Ozzy capped the set.
That is awesome. Just, oh God, here. But yeah, I mean, I felt elation. Like I said, and I was already tapped out because, like Attitude Adjustment, Repulsion, and Exhumed were three of my favorite bands. So I was already like, 2-3 hours of just. Oh, and the DJ is playing like obscure NWO BHM records that like Satan's Kiss of Death, and so I was basically in heaven. And then Napalm Death started, and it was more than anything I could have expected. Um, the best part is we had to go to Disneyland the next day, and I just got such a vibe of you don't belong here, boy.
While at the same time weeding out its ugliest tendencies.
Jim's pretty ugly.
Yeah, I'm as ugly as they come, motherfucker. Get the hell out of here. You're telling me you're weeding me out? Go fuck yourself. I was here before you were a cum stain on your mama's pillow.
He's so ugly, but I can tell he's ugly.
Just by hearing the voice, you can hear that all on your own.
You are much cooler in my imagination than you are in real life.
Especially now, any self-respecting subculture would be wise to follow suit. Learn to code.
And I think you'll find that you're in the minority here.
Hank Steamer, learn to code. That's all I'm saying. You're next.
You live in New York, the hipster capital of the world, twinned with maybe Portland, Oregon. So you're sort of in the minority here, Kim. I think most of us will be happy if we just listen to Profanatica and, grind our brains into oblivion until we can't move our heads the next day.
Man arrested after wife's metal plus meth-fueled death party.
Metal and meth, metal and meth.
We had to brighten this with something far more metal than that. Just need to take a break from that fucking pussy-ass bullshit.
Yes, depressing.
You might not always have a say in how you go, but a Minnesota man was arrested last week after holding a death party, supposedly at his wife's request, that included one final sexual encounter, taking methamphetamine and rocking out to her favorite song, Metal Health from Quiet Riot.
Which I've never really liked, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever. You could have picked a lot of better songs.
Come on, at least go accept Balls to the Wall or Fast as a Shark. I want to if I'm like lying in a hospital bed and they're about to pull the plug, someone put on Fast as a Shark before I die.
There we go.
Or Whiplash or something.
Hell, I just want to hear Chemical Warfare.
I will play Chemical.
Silent Scream. That's a song to go out on.
Okay, I will play Silent Scream before I murder you.
There we go. Silent Scream, crucified bastard son.
Yes. That is a good song. That is a great song. Vader did an amazing cover of it as well.
Oh, yeah. According to the Mankato Free Press, Cyril's resident Dwayne Arden Johnson, 58, was arrested late last week after his wife, Deborah Lynn Johnson, 69, was found dead at their residence. Johnson had called 911 and police arrived at the house to find the words, "Death Party God Hell."
Okay.
Written in red spray paint on the door. That's great. This sounds like the scene that would have police tape around it. Just on the front door.
Party.
Johnson told police that he did not seek medical attention for his wife as she did not want to die in a nursing home. Respectable. Mm-hmm. May as well go on a high note. High as a kite.
Is a high note, high as a kite.
The husband said he thought his wife had died around 8:30 in the morning, but he waited until he was sure she had passed before calling 911.
Yeah, because she doesn't want to be resuscitated.
Mm-hmm. According to Johnson, his wife had been in a nursing home and begged him to take her home to die. She had previously had 2 heart attacks and was suffering from diabetes and high blood pressure. Not nice things to suffer from. I can totally sympathize with the Will to end your own life at that point.
I
Yeah.
want to go out having fun.
Mhm.
On it's just someone said, the best way to go out and go, through heaven, backwards and on fire.
Mhm. She was also on antipsychotic medication while dealing with mental illness.
That's always fun.
Oh, yeah. Honoring his wife's alleged request, Johnson said he took her home where they had a death party. The man stated they had been rocking out to Quiet Riot's Mental Health and that they took some methamphetamine after she stopped taking her medications. According to Johnson, his wife couldn't eat or drink, so he used snow to wet her mouth. When she went into convulsions, she wouldn't allow him to call for help. He also revealed that they had sex fewer than 2 hours before she died.
Got to go on a high note, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean,
When police arrived, they found Johnson naked and discovered several guns and hundreds of rounds of ammunition in the home. This is great.
oh, that's a party.
Yeah. With Johnson revealing that many of the guns had been stolen. Sure, why not?
It's also a party.
The man was arrested without incident and charged with felony counts of theft and receiving stolen property. Johnson appeared in court last Friday, and bail had been was set at $250,000 or $150,000 with conditions. He remained in jail as of Friday evening. Yeah, well, I'm not paying that. I'll just stay in. Like
I'll
that.
just stay in and remember.
You know you're getting fucking slammed. Why the hell enjoy it? You had your last party. It's
You
done.
had fun. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
Yes. That sounds incredibly fun.
Alyssa Milano, Elizabeth Warren, and Jim Carrey are among 50 individuals and media organizations sent letters by lawyers for teen at center of viral Covington Catholic video preparing for potential libel lawsuits.
Which really isn't going to end well for any of them because
Yeah, you threatened to destroy children's lives before they even began over what? A small. I saw the video, and that dude with the drum got like inches within his face. Whenever I was 17, you know what the fuck I would have done if someone did that to me? I would have fucking clocked his ass. It's a miracle that he just stood there smiling. I wouldn't have been able to do that back when I was 7. Now I could, but when I was 17, I was full of piss and vinegar. Fuck that shit.
yes. Of course, now he looks like an idiot because he's suing for libel, which I understand, but at the same time,
Well, I don't think he looks like an idiot because whatever you see, how many death threats they get on a daily basis from just everyone across the internet, even though, yeah, most of them aren't going to pan out the shit. The fact that actual, like, celebrities that I don't pay attention to, but most normal people do, the fact that they were among the ones calling for blood and destroying lives before they even began. These are children. They're going to change before they grow up. I mean, God, do you want to know that I know 5 Catholic school graduates that converted to Satanism?
yeah.
You know, that just like, it's not this huge, like, fucking, brainwashing factory. I mean, yeah, they try, but it doesn't always take. And people change as they get older, and some of those Satanists are now atheists, and others are fucking went into other paganism because they're like, fuck this shit, I like this shit better, and they change slowly over the years. I mean, fuck. I mean, hell, let's take me for an example. When I was 17 years old, I was part of a shoplifting gang. And I had recently been busted for what happened was I walked into Montgomery Wards and I was getting ready to go to college. So I just taken my SATs and I did like a piddly like 380 in the fucking English department and a 720 in the math. And I was accepted to college, and I fucking went into Montgomery Wards and stole myself a mini cassette recorder. And I was busted right then and there because they had cameras in the fucking mirrors. I didn't even take into consideration because I was so used to shoplifting from the mall. I thought I could recognize where cameras were, and apparently I didn't.
Yep.
So after I got busted, we used that to my advantage. We used that to our advantage. I was the perfect decoy from that time out. I went in with my painted up leather jacket with fucking Thy Kingdom Come and an orb in hell in the back, and anarchist army with like all the rockers and chevrons and every single pin denoting, officer ranks, and even, fucking non-commissioned officer ranks on top of it, painted in front of it, straight from the U.S. Army archives. Saying I was the anarchist army, and all these, Megadeth, Metallica, Slayer, Iron Maiden, and of course I even had a thing painted on there for Weird Al, but it was Weird Al dripping in blood.
Yeah.
So
So
this thing looked like the most evil jacket ever wear. I'm wearing my torn jeans. I'm wearing my fucking death metal Eaten Back to Life T-shirt, which is a guy in a cemetery, zombified, eating his own intestines. So I looked like I was up to no good.
yes.
I'd walk into the store. All eyes were on me immediately. And I make it look like I was trying to hide the fact that I was putting something in my inside pocket, when in reality, I was making certain they saw this.
Yeah.
So now they're all the eyes on me, but they're following me around the store. And I go to the back of the store, away from the cameras, out of sight of the cameras, and where no one saw me, and would drop the item. At the time, I was young enough, I didn't need ID for anything because, fuck, they didn't card you for cigarettes back then. That would have been the only thing I needed ID for.
Yeah.
So, and my friends would be walking in about this time, apart from me, and they were dressed 100% clean cut prep. Top line, because they came from families that had enough money that they could dress this way. And while everyone's following me all around the store, I had like 6 or 7 people following me throughout the damn store. My buddies are at the other part of the store, away from me, shoplifting things, just pocketing shit left and right. I'd finally walk out. I'd get stopped by the people. They'd pat me down, find nothing on me, pat me down again and again. My friends would be walking out with half the store in their goddamn pockets. And they just get a smile and a nod from the people who were pissed off at the fact they couldn't find anything on me. Go ahead, strip search me. You're not finding shit. Go ahead, fucking get the glove on, ram it up my ass. You're still not finding shit. I had nothing on me. Not even ID,
Yeah.
not even money.
People
And,
do.
so we're doing $1,000 hauls from the fucking mall for an entire summer. Every day we went up there because I was such a perfect fucking decoy. And I got paid because I'd give them a wish list of things I'd want from different stores, and
Yep.
I'd go to the lockers that like we put our shit in and just pick up my wish list, and that was my payment for being the decoy.
Oh yeah. But so, and you don't do that anymore, though. You
No, I mean, hell, fucking shit. I felt like I said, I sold drugs up to the point I felt my daughter kick for the first time from inside the womb. And then I just veered away from that path. I stopped selling drugs. I cleaned up my act. I got a legitimate job, and I went 100% completely legit. I changed my life around at the age of 23.
I also wonder how many people who espouse, ruining his life, uh, tell other people to kill with kindness.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to ruin his life, be nice to him and talk to him, and then maybe he'll realize, oh wait, not everyone's out to get, to get me. Not every atheist, Satanist, or whatever thinks that I'm a brainwashed sheep, or
Yeah.
I mean, so yes, but yeah, people can change. I mean, how many interviews have we read from like the early '90s black metal scene? Yeah, fucking starving African people are funny.
And then, 20 years later, it's like, yeah, I was a fucking shithead teen. What do you expect?
I was
You know?
I was trying to be extreme.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to be Mr. Shocking.
God, even the people that did all his church arches were like, well, maybe we should have thought of a better way to make our statement because what we did was pretty fucked up.
Maybe I shouldn't have killed that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oliver Curtis hasn't. The best part, the one of my favorite parts in his videos was talking about one of the, I think, Dark Throne. And he says in the most casual way possible, so after I killed Euronymous, just the
Yeah.
most casual. So yeah, after I killed Euronymous,
Yeah, you could tell he has no remorse for that versus, who was that was like actually remorseful for what he did?
Faust.
Mm-hmm. Faust
Faust
was
remember.
actually remorseful for what he did, and his actions and statements past it dictate that. So
Well,
you could see the difference between someone who decided, okay, I gone and fucked up, even though it was a hardcore fucked up. I served my time, and now I'm gonna just try to get on with my life and
start a new band, and
correct everything that I fucked up.
he's still obsessed with serial killers, but he's like, no, I wasn't a serial killer. I killed one guy in a fit of emotion, or that's
Yeah,
different than serial killers are fascinating. Whereas Vic Hernandez is like, yeah, killed him, whatever.
yeah, huge difference there.
Went to prison.
Uh, More than 50 celebrities, politicians, and media organizations could face a lawsuit from the teen at the center of the Covington Catholic High School controversy. Good. I hope they pay out the ass.
Wish I could afford lawyers like that.
I don't care if they settle or not. I just hope they pay out the ass.
Well, yeah, they can afford it.
Mm-hmm. Lawyers representing Nick Sandman, the teen in Make America Great Again hat, seen smirking at Native American activist Nathan Phillips in the video, sent preservation letters out on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, just looking at the distance here, dear God, whenever I was 17, that would have been like, you're going down. I don't care if I start a riot. Whap! Because I was just so full of piss and vinegar. I don't know how the hell he held his composure at 17. Is testosterone really that low in our youth?
Oh, yeah. Plus, he seems like a total pud
Mm-hmm.
with rich parents.
Yay. The letters are seen as the first step in possible libel and defamation lawsuits. Among those who received the letter were Alyssa Milano, Jim Carrey, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Kathy Griffin, Savannah Guthrie, Bill Maher, and Representative Ilhan Omar. Good. Pay out the ass. National media outlets, including the New York Times, CNN, and TMZ, also received the letters, and as did the Diocese of Covington and Lexington and the Archdiocese of Louisville and Baltimore. Good.
I'm gonna sue everyone and hope one sticks.
Fuck it. Some of these places are just going to settle out of court as quick as possible.
And some people are gonna try to hire lawyers and utterly crush him.
I don't
And
think
really
they're going
will
to utterly crush him. Because I
destroy.
think there's people that might actually hire the lawyers and try to crush him, but they're going to go down because courts are funny things.
We'll see.
We'll see. I hope that someone contests it and ends up losing big. Because we're talking about people that tried destroying a kid's life
yeah,
before it even began.
yeah. I mean, it
Just for
is.
standing there and smiling.
Yeah, it is.
That's pathetic. I mean, I destroyed my own life. I did a lot of shady shit in my life. Okay, fine, dandy. I accept that. But this kid did nothing, and you're destroying that. What the
I mean,
fuck?
the most he did was crash a march and be annoying.
Yeah.
We're gonna destroy everyone's life who's annoying.
Yeah.
As much as I'd love to.
As much as I'd love to. God, that'd be like 90% of the human race down the toilet right there.
That'll be you. How
on
many times have
your
you
end.
pissed me off?
How many times have you pissed me off? God, you'd be crushed under the weight, boy.
Yeah, well, you would too if we destroy each other, and then that would be
That's our
utterly
holy war.
that would be pointless because everyone else lives because we destroyed each other.
You know that Slayer did Dissident Aggressor better.
Yes. Well, whatever. I think I think the
No,
original.
that's what we were going to war over, remember?
I think the original version's better personally.
That's
I
it.
think the Rain
Holy
and Blood
war.
version's too damn fast. I like it. I just think it's too damn fast.
Yeah, and I love the original, but god damn it, gotta love Slayer more. Fuck you, we're going to war now. That's our holy war.
Yes.
God versus prophet. Let's go.
Yes. Slayer.
The preservation letter asks the individuals and organization not to destroy any documents that could be connected to a potential case. Please preserve all information that may be relevant to the Sandman matter. If our clients pursue litigation, we intend to serve with discovery requests to access your computer networks and systems and to see the production of relevant documents and communications.
Yeah. Standard.
Documents could include early drafts of articles regarding the video, emails among staff discussing the story, or tweets sent by the celebrities and politicians. The tweets alone are archived. Trust me, anything that was made public is archived.
Yep. Even if you try to delete them.
Mm-hmm.
To the internet.
Yep.
And I mean, even if you do delete them, other people have screen capped them and cached them. And
Yeah, they're everywhere. Trust me.
oh yeah, you can't.
You're not escaping this. It's great.
Nope.
Sandman and his family are being represented by a team of 7 lawyers that have been working on the case full time. They include Todd McMurdy, and experienced libel and defamation lawyer in L. Lynn Wood.
Okay.
You want to change the conversation, McMurdy told the Cincinnati Enquirer. We don't want to make this happen again. We want to teach people a lesson. Good, teach them the lesson.
Yes.
This is what happens when you fuel an outrage mob. Pitchforks and torches do this to you. Oh my god, I'm losing millions. Good.
And yeah, having some accountability would be fantastic.
Yeah, it would be.
Because
there was a rush by the media to believe what it wanted to believe versus what actually happened. I mean, it wasn't even like you didn't even have to watch the full video. Just, 30 seconds before the clip, and you would have seen a completely different story. Sandman's name became headline news after videos that circulated on Twitter showed him smirking at Phillips while the Native American elder played a drum. He got within, the Native American just charged right up to him, got inches in his face. Like I said, if someone did that to me, he would have been clocked. Back when I was 17, I wouldn't have held back. I was fucking full of piss and vinegar, buddy.
Yes, well, I guess he did what Jesus would have done or something. What would Jesus do? No, wait, no, Jesus was crucified.
No, Jesus would have started kicking over the tables and fucking kicking money everywhere, saying, "Get the fuck out of the house of God."
Yes.
Anyone making money here? Nope, can't do that. You're fucked. Cleansing the temple, one of my favorite stories from the Gospels. Make that whip out of hair. Mm-hmm. The teen was surrounded by peers from his all-boys school who had been bused from Kentucky to Washington, D.C. for the anti-abortion March for Life rally.
They sound like very genetically repressed people. All boys. Yeah. Squealed like a piggy. Deliverance to the Catholic school years.
There we go. The heaviest thing in the world that I've ever felt was my uncle on top of me.
I mean, these guys sound like puds just as much as the other side.
Video showed the teens chanting and performing the tomahawk chop, surrounding Phillips as he continued to beat his drum. Well, what the fuck else are you gonna do if you're not gonna clock the guy?
Which is, which is a little bit annoying, but hey,
The red MAGA hat is the new white hood. I disagree. I just think it's, the fucking counterculture. Because with everything online screaming death to any Republican, the kids are just going to grow up Republicans now.
Yeah, well,
Because, kids got to rebel against parents. If parents are shaming them, then, and all the adults are telling them that they're baby snakes.
I mean, hell, I'd rebel
Harry
against.
did it. This is just going to make them double down on that shit. You're not making any allies here. You're making a shit ton more enemies, though.
Thankfully, I rebelled by going completely the other side rather than going right wing. I just went completely off the map into, I should be elected president.
The short clips caused a firestorm on Twitter as major celebrities, including Milano and Kerry, as well as Deborah Messing and Chris Evans, responded. Milano equated the MAGA hat as the new white hood in reference to the Ku Klux Klan. Yay, Griffin tweeted she wanted the names of the boys in the video to be publicized and encouraged people to shame them. Bing, shame! Bing, shame! As, the chick walks through the street naked.
Because that's going to achieve everything. People will realize that, oh, I'm being shamed. I should now side with the people shaming me. Because that's.
If you think these fuckers wouldn't dox you in a heartbeat, think again, she added. I don't think they would be capable of this particular group. I didn't see a single one of them that looked shady enough to want to do that. To even pick up the skills. I mean, give them 10 years and maybe one or two might.
Boxing's pretty easy now.
Yeah, now it is. Just type in someone's name and there you go.
Yeah, doxing's easy. And I've no doubt that they would probably view me as degenerate scum or whatever.
P.S. The reply from the school is pathetic and impotent. Name these kids who are under 18, not even adults, and we usually don't fucking name children, even if they are the aggressors in fucking different legal proceedings that involve murder and assault.
Shaming people has always. So you shame people, and then you expect them to say, "Oh, I was wrong," and side with you guys. I mean, that's not how I work. At least if you start shaming me, I'm not going to go. You know what? You're right, Jim. I was, well, you because you actually make a good argument for it, but
Griffin later deleted a tweet that showed a photo of Covington Catholic High School basketball players in which she claimed they were throwing up the new Nazi sign. It was a three-pointer. They were either celebrating or begging for one of their players to throw a three-point throw. Point. You don't God.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even watch sports and I know that much. What the fuck?
Just complete idiocy.
The boys were protesting a woman's right to choose and yelled, "It's not rape if you enjoy it." I don't remember seeing that, but okay.
Well, I mean, I am pro-choice and I think people should have the right to choose, but yeah.
I don't think you should put words in people's mouths. Yeah. They were taunting 5 black men before they were surrounded Phillips and led. First off, Phillips charged into them. Second, the 5 blacks were saying "death to gays." You're supposed to be a lefty, all about gay rights. Oh wait, no, I don't think this chick's for gay rights because she wants fucking. What the fuck?
Well, I mean, and we live in the age of Twitter now, where people A, jump to conclusions, B, your voice is now heard around the world. I mean, if we use the right hashtags, we could be heard by millions of idiots.
Sandman's family hired a right-wing PR firm to write his non-apology. I don't think he has that much money.
Yeah,
Maybe.
he's represented by like
Well,
Cohen's.
being represented by lawyers is a little bit different. I mean, he might be paying for some, but others might be working on, contingency or doing it as pro bono to get their name out there. Because who the fuck wouldn't want their name attached to this case? What self-respecting civil lawsuit lawyer wouldn't want to have their name attached to a cash cow?
Yeah. It is a private Catholic school, so
Hmm.
those things are. Eric wanted to go
Yeah,
to
there's
a.
some money involved, but I don't think there's enough to hire a giant PR firm to write shit for.
I'll have to do some research on this
Yeah.
and see, but
Omaha elder and Vietnam War veteran Nathan Phillips endured hateful taunts with dignity and strength, then urged us all to do better. He charged in there and started screaming chants in front of 5 inches from a kid's face. Like, just rewind the tape 30 seconds before, and it's right there. You saw it. He didn't have to do that, but he did because the black kids in the fucking MAGA hats were sitting there telling the black guys standing there that they were full of bullshit for calling out death to gays and fucking faggot president and all that. Oh God, Jesus Christ!
that's what happens when you don't watch the full video. You know?
I mean, I know the full video is like 2 hours long or something, but just 30 seconds before you would have seen Phillips was nowhere near them, and then he just charged straight up in there.
Well,
And
yeah,
if
it's
you
a
watched it,
long video.
a few minutes beforehand, you saw what he was charging for, because black guys are saying fucking, fuck your faggot president, death to gays, and like what the fuck?
Well, yeah, it's a long video, but I generally
These
don't
are all
like.
people on the left now.
I don't try to make observations until I've seen the whole thing, which clearly they only saw what they wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, I mean, I still hold out a vague hope that Lords of Chaos won't be utter shite. I'm pretty sure it will, but I haven't seen the full movie yet, so there's still this vague, not even hope that maybe it won't be 100% horrible.
Kerry made the teens the subject of one of his political paintings, titling it Baby Snakes.
Because, like I said, you can't change your mind. You can't, like, suddenly, you can't realize that maybe I'm an idiot.
Phillips, it turns out, had been trying to intervene between the boys and the religious sect. No, I think he was just trying to clamor some glory onto himself by making himself look heroic whenever, in fact, all he did was go up there and go, hey, you.
Like I said, I mean, baby snake, well, people can change. I mean,
Yeah, you could do what you want, but I'm just saying, watch the full context. Just 30 seconds. Oh, God.
now we're going to drive these people even deeper into their
Mhm. Good
beliefs.
job. And they're not even, adults yet. You're going to drive them further away.
Yeah,
Enjoy losing.
I mean, will the red hat become
Because half these kids are going to be able to vote come
well?
2020, and you're going to shit yourselves over that.
Maybe the red hat will be the new white hood if this keeps going on.
Maybe. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Just keep
Yes,
hammering down and doubling down. And you know what? Just okay, let's assume for a second, okay, that wearing that, just standing there smiling, let's just assume for one moment that they actually did take a crowbar to some guy's face. Let's assume that, okay? This is so far from what happened that even watching that 5 seconds of video that was everywhere, this didn't happen. Let's just assume that it did. Crowbar to someone's face. They're fucking kids. They will grow up. They will change. You don't need to destroy their fucking lives over an act of random vandalism and or assault.
What you need to do is talk to them, get to know why they believe what they do, and maybe reason with them and say, look, this is why.
You want to know how I actually got a few neo-Nazis to stop being neo-Nazis? They changed their beliefs. Hell, my one buddy even adopted some progressive style beliefs. The far left kind of shit that these people are all about. He had started to adopt that after I got him out of it. You want to know how I got them out of it? Oh, it wasn't overnight with a single word or anything. Oh, no. It took better part of a fucking decade.
Nobody believes this, though. Like, metal
Constantly, not constantly debating them, but debating them often enough that, like, I can't count the times I debated them. I can't count but I was also a friend to them. I showed them, I led by example. I showed them, you don't have to be like this because this is bullshit. This is a better way to go. Yeah, we're still all involved with, the shoplifting gang. We're involved with this fucking drug dealing business we're starting. And this is all scumbaggy. And then we stopped selling drugs and as we got a little bit older, I had my reasons, they had their own. And eventually I started dating this black chick. And that was pretty much the death knell there because they realized I was still offering them a free beer like I always offered them because I was a friend and gave out free beer to my friends. And that just totally dismantled their whole entire race trader theory. And ta-da, they're no longer racist. It took the better part of a decade to do that. And it wasn't overnight, but it happens. But you want to know what would make someone double down on being a Nazi?
Confirming their beliefs and
confirming their beliefs by completely deplatforming them, cutting off their finances, and fucking smearing them throughout the public with massive shame campaigns. That just makes them double down and believe in this shit even more. Because where else are they going to go other than their buddies now? And they're fuck.
The problem you have these days is people either don't think that they can be talked or they just don't even bother and would rather shame people. And at most what you're going to get is if you shame someone, you're going to get someone who doesn't say anything publicly but secretly still has those
yeah, they'll sit there and say whatever fake garbage they have to in order to receive a paycheck. And then in private, it's like burning crosses in their backyard every day.
I mean,
fuck, that's how a couple of the older kids lived whenever they had to get jobs.
Yep, I'd rather talk
all
to someone.
Nice smiles, play acting. The moment they got down, goddamn, this they you got me on. Oh God!
Talk to someone and bring them out of their shell.
Mm-hmm. God, and the whole thing is this entire society is so unforgiving. I mean, you forgive the fucking small fuck ups, so that way you can actually get people to be a little bit more empathetic instead of flying off the rails in a fucking completely toxic ideology.
This goes back to what I was. Sorry, I'm eating a sandwich because I'm fucking starving. I made a video about Disma firing Craig Pillard, which you can watch. It's on the. And I said, now, even though he's not in the band anymore, Metal Sucks is still not going to like you. You're still going to be known as the band with Craig Pillard, who had some questionable projects that I thought were jokes, but whatever. And you're going to, you're not going to be accepted. And you've lost all credibility with your fans who like Craig. They're not going to want to listen to you because you caved.
Exactly. God. And it's all because there's no forgiveness. God. People, no, what happens is people fuck up. They know they fuck up, and they're going to gravitate to whoever's going to forgive their fuck up. And if the only group willing to forgive their fuck up is a fucking bunch of neo-Nazis, they're going to sign up to the neo-Nazis. If it's the only people willing to forgive their fuck up are communists, they're going to become communists.
Yep.
I mean, and that's what's going to happen. And the more you force people into these little boxes and never forgive them for a single damn thing they did in their entire lives, the more radicals you're going to breed. Until there's only two sides of the coin, both are just as radical and toxic as the last, and we end up destroying all of Western civilization. Enjoy.
Yep. I mean, yeah. So, I warned about this in 2015. I said, look, don't just take the easy way out. It's better to just, it's better to forgive. But like I said, I mean, there's people who won't listen to Dimmu Borgir of all things because they made, an ill-conceived interview in like '91 where they talked about like starving African children being funny or something. Whereas now they look at it and going, "Wow, that was stupid."
As both Sandman and Philip began giving interviews to share their side of the story, celebrities started backtracking and deleting their angry tweets. There are two sides to every story. I made a snap judgment based on a photograph, and I know better than to judge a book by its cover. Jamie Lee Curtis tweeted, well, good. At least you admit you fucked up somehow.
Yes. Well, and that's the thing.
I'll cut you some slack over that because you at least admitted you fucked up.
Okay, I'm guilty of that. You're guilty of that. We're all guilty.
We're all guilty of making snap judgments before we know what the fuck's going on. Whenever we find out what the fuck's going on, it's like, ugh.
We're all guilty of taking to the internet. How many times have I shared a link going like, this is stupid? And you're like, wait, no, did you actually read this article? Oh, duh.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes, God, fuck, I've fallen for satire sites before. You're like, Jim, a fucking satire site. What? Oh, remember that one where the guy was talking about like the huge fucking Nazi thing going on with all these bands which are not Nazi in the slightest.
Oh, God. I missed
doing all this shit. And like, I remember when he said, dude, you were raging against the guy for, railing against, a good band that actually was NSBM. But then as I went through the article, you're like, oh God, these bands would have never played together. They hate each other. Wait, what? What the fuck? And it's like, yep, it was a fucking joke. The guy was trying to promote his shitty ass band.
Yeah,
by making up stories that would have never happened.
I think it was like Cradle of Filth and some other band. And I was like, I like both bands, but they would never play together, ever.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, no, I mean, I fallen for satire. You fallen for satire. You posted shit from the Daily Stormer, which I called you on.
I wasn't there. I shouldn't have commented. I'm glad there wasn't violence. I hope these two men can meet and find common ground as we all. But this is too late. I still see people posting hatred and death to this kid. To this day, this is like weeks old now, and people are still rallying against.
They've laid the groundwork for this kind of thought process.
I think it was on The View where, like, I think it was, what's her name? Whoopi Goldberg said, we did this because we're so fixated on removing Trump from office that we lost sight that there's actual human beings or something to that effect. You lost sight that people are people. Good job. You're so focused on one person, you can't see anything else.
Yes. And by the way, removing Trump from office will make Mike Pence in charge.
Yeah, you don't want that.
I'd rather have Captain Dumbass in charge than someone who's actually smart and knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Trump is off in his own little world, promoting himself and going on these little tours.
McMurdy claims the incident permanently stained Sandman's reputation and said he has concluded that there is good faith basis to sue. Yeah, there is. God. Now, people are wanting to destroy people's lives before they even begin. Yeah, there's reason to sue.
Yeah.
For the mob to just tear apart a 16-year-old boy is inexcusable. Oh, so he was 16, not 17. Well, I still would have decked him at the age of 16. So
There are racing drivers, okay, who are like 20 years old, and they've done some stupid things. Okay, I'll admit they have done some things that were idiotic and irresponsible, especially in a race car where you could kill people if you do something stupid.
yeah,
Anyway, they've gotten suspended from racing or things like that. But there's a guy the guy in 2017. He decided what he wanted to do was under a yellow flag, which means slow down. He wanted to pass about 20 cars to ram the leader because he thought the leader had, hit him or something. Right now, he got suspended for a year for that.
that's
which he
fucking retarded going under a yellow. I mean, I only know some basics about racing. I know yellow flag, and under a yellow flag, you're supposed to stay locked. Isn't that right?
You're supposed to slow down and stay in a constant speed.
Yeah, in other words, you pretty much just maintain your place, wait for the flag to be lifted, and then you go.
So basically, he acted like a video game, and he got suspended for a year. Now, he hasn't done anything after this, but people are saying, oh, he shouldn't have been reinstated, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, he's 20 years old. He did something monumentally stupid. Actually, no, I think he's like 19. He did something monumentally stupid that no one should do, but you know what? He was 16 years old. How many stupid things did you do when you were 16?
I can tell you about something stupid I did when I was about 12, 13. I forget exactly. You see, it was me and my buddy Jeff. You would have campouts in our backyards. We'd set up a tent and just pretend to sleep, wait for the adults to go to sleep, then terrorize the town after dark, well past curfew into the wee hours of the morning. And let's see, one night we went to the top of the hill that our old grade school was on and went down both sides of the street on garbage night, just gently tipping over the bags, slitting open the bottom, and gently putting them down. We went to try that again a week later, and everyone had gotten giant plastic garbage cans to put their bags in. I can just imagine just garbage everywhere in the garbage saying, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, just the whole street.
I feel so bad.
We're talking about 4 blocks, large blocks of fucking houses going down this hill. All of them slit, slit, slit.
You see,
and there was this other time where
10 years ago, that would have been hilarious. Now all I can think of is that poor trash man.
I know, right? Back then, I was like, it's funny to laugh at, say, yeah, this is evil. But yeah, I think poor trash man, and dear God, if I was the homeowner, I would want to kill the kids that did that.
But just think,
I mean, it's the same thing as like whenever I was like 6, 7 years old. And, there was this abandoned fucking warehouse. And all the kids were chucking rocks at the windows. And me and this other guy I was with were no exception. And we were breaking windows. There was this one funny glass that had like the fucking shading on it so you couldn't see inside. And I was curious what that would make if I broke it. So I picked a couple big rocks, chucked it at it, didn't break it first, but eventually I broke it. And we looked inside. And there was like a bandsaw and a radial saw and a bunch of like woodworking tools and wood. And we went in there. And then moments after we had gone in there, like, holy shit, we found paradise. The door opens. The owner's there. He's pissed off. We try to flee. We're both caught, taken down to the station. Yeah. And we split the fine for all the broken windows, even though we didn't break them all because, like I said, it was a kid's pastime.
I love your dad's. There's no way you could have broken all those windows.
Yeah, he my dad, it was in one of his better moods because he got woken up when he usually wakes up instead of, interrupting his sleep, which is when I'd get punished. Yeah, I was punished for testing off the charts in first grade. He beat me senseless because the teacher woke him up, telling him I did good in school. But then after I broke windows because the phone call came in after he had already woken up, he was like, "Oh well, whatever. This is just fucking bullshit that they're finding you for all the windows."
You even got a computer game, right?
hmm Well, anyways, fucking shit. I look back on that and it's like, dude, if that was me, I would have snapped my fucking neck because I was the first one caught. I would have picked up. If I was the adult, I would have picked my younger self up and snapped his neck for fucking breaking him into my place. You know.
Exactly. Um,
So like, yeah, uh, you know,
when you told the story, I was like, "Oh man, that poor dude who he got windows broken, and and you're like, well, yeah, now I think, oh, that sucks for the guy, but back then it was,
how unfair. It was just fun breaking glass, and we didn't know this was not abandoned. Back then, that was my thought process. Now it's like, yeah, fucking God.
well,
I would have been pissed.
about the garbage thing. I mean, yeah, the owners, but think about that garbage man, out.
I know that would suck for them because every bag just. I mean, there might have even been a point where, like, nope, we're just not doing any more on this street. It's been 2 blocks now. I think this street was just hit up by some young vandals. I'm not even going to chance it.
Yes. Uh, I I think it'd be funny if you're like, and then trash day. I heard this really loud voice say, "God damn it!"
I didn't live that close. If I did, I would have listened, but we were already back and asleep by the time the garbage trucks came.
What the fuck? Yeah. So
There was another night that Jeff came back from, like, going to another state where fireworks were legal, and he brought back some bottle rockets, and he snuck them out with us in one of our late night escapades. And I got the lucky shot because we were firing some at this factory, this rubber factory in town, and I actually got one to go between an open window, and it popped, and we saw the shadow of like a security guard just spin around like all paranoid. We just darted up, and then like fucking Jeff, we went up to the highway, and he launched one straight at a car coming at us down the highway. It's about 35, 45 miles an hour. Pop! Right on it. That guy swerved. And then he chased us through all these yards and shit. I mean, if we didn't know those better, he would have caught up. But we knew them better than he did. So we just fucking darted out and barely escaped. God,
was
I could totally sympathize with that guy because if someone launched a bottle rocket at me and went pop, and I'd probably swerve and be like, "Fucking, I'm gonna."
um, was he yelling, "I'll kill you"?
Yes.
I'll fucking kill you! Holy shit! No.
Run, run.
Yes.
This is the shit we did. I did like before I was even like 16. You know, It- it- yeah, and I live so differently now that mindset's alien to me.
And you wonder why we want you to write a book.
But just back to the point here, I changed. And yeah, I know I fucked up my own life. Fine, forgive me, don't forgive me, don't give a shit. Because I'm already an outcast. I'm the satanic baby killer of Jeanette, Pennsylvania. What the fuck? So there's like no I'm outcast to begin with, so don't fucking matter. But these kids didn't even fuck up in this incident. They behaved better than I did.
Yeah. I mean, their biggest fuck up was just being annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And
Being the same snotty kids that got into politics whenever they were younger, saying, "Oh, politics this, politics that," that all the normies hated, and I wanted to fucking deck because they were always self-righteous.
yes. So yeah, it's pathetic, but we live. I mean, we live in the internet culture, we live in the blame culture, and we live in the non-forgiveness era, where you're not. I mean, there's probably. I know a guy who lives in Jeanette. Actually, another guy. I should ask him if you're still remembered.
I may be. I may not be. I haven't been around in a while.
Yeah.
What was funny was years after I stopped my partying, years after I sobered up, and just shortly after I had started to get back up on my feet after being homeless. Okay, I had to take I let my one cousin crash with me, because he was going through a rough spot. I'm like, fine, and fucking shit, that was a bad mistake. But anyways, I'm trying to be nice to him, and I was going to take him to work, and I was half out of it because, I'd only gotten 3 hours of sleep before I had to take him to work. And I accidentally went the wrong way down an alley, and a cop pulled me over. And the cop's like, "Oh, I remember you. You're a good kid now." And it's like, "Oh, well, thanks. You actually realized I changed from the way I was way back when." I mean, there's another cop there that still believes I'm a satanic baby killer, but he was one of my bullies in high school, so you know, give and take. But half the force actually likes me because I kept my nose clean. After I sobered up, they realized this kid keeps his nose clean. He's doing something, unlike all these other guys that are still fucking heroin addicts and fucking robbing banks and shit that, he went to school with.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, hopefully reason will prevail, although it won't.
And you're still going to get the people going out there on self-righteous sprees, totally unforgiving, uncaring, not even realizing kids change when they grow up, just making the kids double down on whatever. Because that's what happens when we don't forgive. You just attack, and people are like, you know what? Fuck this. No matter what I do, I'm screwed. I'm just going to double down, then triple down, then quadruple down. And
And
now you're going to see a
yeah,
fucking menace to fucking society you've never seen before. And before you know it, all these people crying Nazis everywhere are going to actually get Nazis elected.
as Jello Biafra once famously said in 2006, even if I faked a weird religious conversion and had Oliver North for sainthood tattooed on my forehead, I'm still going down. So I might as well get louder and louder and louder. They're still going to get me as a subversive person, so I might as well just enjoy it. It's same thing with me. Even if you know, shit, I tried going straight in 2012, 2013. I even read the damn Bible, to see like if there's anything for me in that particular strain of thought. Turns out there wasn't, but it actually got me to understand what I hated. But
I think it's Numbers 22 that the moral of the story was when your ass speaks, listen to it. And my ass goes, so yeah, it's
my
great.
favorite story is still the bears and the
Oh yeah,
children.
oh yeah.
The one bald head. Then they had the two she bears. Anyway, but my point was that hell, even if I had gone full religious then and became a fundamentalist Christian who worshipped at the altar of Pat Robertson, I'd still, oh yeah, that's the guy who said that God was evil and he said all this shit. Let's get him. So
Oh man, I remember when I was in the 12 Steps According to Jesus cult homeless shelter. I wish them no harm. I just call it that because it's actually good if you have nowhere else to go. Whatever price you got to pay. Because trust me, when you're fucking so hungry, you're contemplating going out to behind the gay bar as a straight guy, going behind the gay bar to suck some dick just so you could get yourself a cheese sandwich with the money. You'll know how quickly how low you'll go, and that you'll do anything for it. Anyways, while I was there, yeah, and I was going through all my Bible studies and stuff as part of their courses just so I could stay long enough to find a job during the fucking recession. I remember I fell in love with the book of Ecclesiastes because it just hit those fucking nihilistic metalhead nerves. It's like, oh God, yes, this is beautiful. So yeah.
Yeah,
Ecclesiastes is sweet.
that's why
So
you
is
should.
Lamentations if you want more of the fucking we gone and fucked up and deserve to suffer.
I like that philosophy.
Uh-huh.
The philosophy that, but as I was going to say earlier, that's why I think that's why this show, as small as it is and as shambolic as it is, does serve a purpose to try to put some reason back into society.
Not just reason, but also provoke different thoughts. Because sometimes you just gotta fucking
Yes,
hear the most extreme ideas out there. And trust me, there's even worse than this shit out there.
mean, I would love to have people with ideas that I find abhorrent on this show. It's just that they're too afraid to be interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
I asked Mathis, I asked Kelly. I've tried to
Oh well,
get.
that's a common theme, though. Uh, just wait.
It'll happen.
Anyways, let's end on a fucking happy story.
Ooh,
Ah, good time. Man proposes in court to girlfriend, accused of stabbing him 13 times. I know you tried killing me, honey, but
this
will you marry me and
this
possibly succeed next time?
this brings a tear to my eye because it's just so romantic. And I'm
It
not
is
even joking.
romantic. God, you know how often Danimund has threatened my life on this show?
Yes, you know
It's
how often.
romance.
I mean, I've always said a girl who threatens to kill me, is someone who I wouldn't mind being with.
A Russian man begged the judge to let his girlfriend go free after she stabbed him 13 times, almost killing him.
This this is romance.
He wanted her to be released so they could get married. According to reports, he proposed to her in court at her sentencing. At the
Oh,
time of the attack, the man, named Shakur, managed to escape his attacker. As she faced the judge to be sentenced, Shakur apparently proposed to the woman and begged the judge for leniency so they could arrange their marriage. The judge reportedly postponed sentencing. Aw, good man. Or woman,
good man.
whatever.
That
Good
is a good.
judge. That's a very good judge.
That's the judge I want.
That's pure romance.
That is a pure romantic story. That makes me happy. Actually, that honestly,
Yeah, I figured it would. We needed to fucking, end on
end on a
something
happy note.
happy.
End on something positive.
Hmm.
All right, that is a good story to end.
Yeah. This has been fun.
Yes, this has been the Swine Brothers Show, episode 165 for the 6th of February, 2019. We'll be back at some point in time. You can email us at cosmicgodsdie@gmail.com, especially if you have any articles you think we should read. We'll, of course, we'll always take in, anything you think we should be reading. Uh, Facebook is Swine Brothers and Twitter Swine Bros 666. Send me them tweets. I won't read them. This is for the gym. I am Elliot. So long.
Don't wait till your deathbed to tell people how you feel. Tell them to fuck off and die in a fucking dumpster fire going straight to hell. Right now.